that, Patty Peterson.
Wow. Thank you. That was the best plug ever. Like for this place, for all of you, for the healings that are going on here. They're not kidding. They have something going on every single day and sometimes several times a day. It's really cool to be a part of this. As a matter of fact, when I was, before I did jazz radio, I was doing talk radio, and most of my guests were in the spiritual integrative medicine field. Man, was that the college for me or what? Just on-the-job training, and I loved it so much. So that's what's become a part of who I am, which I bring out into the world. And when I get these topics to come and speak, I have to remind myself of everything that I was so passionate about back in the day when I was doing these shows where I got to learn about these incredible authors who were writing the changing books of our time, 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, steps to da-da-da-da. There was always a step or 5 that you could get to the next level of who you wanted to be. So it's really cool to be affiliated with this beautiful center. And I've done more than just speak here. I've sung here. I held a jazz concert here on behalf of the Twin Cities Jazz Society one time. It was just gorgeous. So, I mean, this space is so beautiful, and the people to work with are incredible. So my thanks for continuing to invite me back. So thank you, Tina, and I understand your service this morning was healing, all right? Well, for those of you who don't know I'm a singer, I always start out with a couple of songs, so I thought I would do that for you right now, and I'm just going to use the lob to sing, okay? Thanks, Rajta. I don't believe in fretting or grieving, why mess around with strife? I never was cut out to step or strut out, give me that simple life. Some find it pleasant dining on pheasant, those things roll off my knife. Serve me tomatoes, mashed potatoes, give me the simple life. A cottage song is all I'm after, not one that's spacious and wide. A house that's filled with joy and laughter, ones you love inside. You take the high road, I'll take the low road, far from care and strife. Sounds corny, seedy, oh yes indeedy, give me the simple life. This is Jimmy Steffen. Woo! Keep going. Yeah, Jimmy. Well, I don't believe in fretting or grieving, why mess around with strife? I never was cut out to step or strut out, give me the simple life. Some find it pleasant dining on pheasant, those things roll off my knife. Just serve me potatoes, mashed potatoes, give me the simple life. A cottage small is all I'm after, not one that's spacious and wide. A house that's filled with joy and laughter, ones you love inside. You take the high road, I'll take that low road, far from care and strife. Sounds corny, seedy, oh yes indeedy. Give me the simple, give me the simple. Give me that simple life. Thank you. Hi, Jimmy. The subject, if you don't know, is living in the digital age. What? Yeah, we are. We're there. I'll never forget when I saw, for the first time on a commercial, has to be 15, 20 years ago. Why would they what is the .com? I'm asking my husband. Why would they do that in a commercial? He goes, because it's the way of the world. And so as we all know, living the simple life isn't that simple unless you choose it. And unless you imagine a world where it feels so good to you and us creating peace with no boundaries and living as one. So that brings me to another song. So in a prayerful mode, I'm going to do some sort of prayerful tunes today too. Let's sing some John Lennon. If you know it, sing it with me, okay? Imagine no heaven. It's easy. Just try. No hell below us. Look above. It's only sky. And then imagine all people, they're living life in peace. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, just a brotherhood of man. And then imagine all the people sharing all the world. Oh, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I know someday they will join us and the world will live as one. Imagine no countries. It isn't hard to do. There'd be nothing to kill or to die for, and no religion too. And then imagine all the people sharing in one world. Whoa, you might say, sing it, I'm a dreamer. But we're not the only ones. I know someday they will join us and the world as one, as one, as one. Imagine. Yay. Thanks. Thank you very much. I flipped the verses. Oh, I think I'm going to change it like that forever. Leave it with thinking about no countries, no borders, no religions, nothing. Just living in peace. I like that much better. Well, living in a digital age. So there's a lot that I can say about this, and there's a lot that I took the time to research and read, and some of my go-to people in the spiritual world who make it their business to create from a place of consciousness, but yet the inevitable aspect of the digital world. And so I want to get to a lot of that today, but I thought that maybe since all of you are here and it's been a bustling week, and I kind of have you in that lower vibration at the moment from the music, I thought, why don't we go into a little bit of a meditation and invite that peace and that visualization into our bodies, our minds, and our souls right now. So Jimmy, I'll have you play for me. So sit in your quiet place right now and take a deep breath. As you exhale, feel that chair underneath you. Inhale again. Feel your lungs expanding. Can you feel your heartbeat in the center of your body? And when you exhale from the top of your head, through the body, to the feet. And on your next breath, in, exhale and connect with Mother Earth. Imagine the root of who you are curling around and connecting with the center of the earth, with the center of our Mother. And knowing that by a few moments of visualization every day, you can walk your life from a place of balance by connecting to Mother Earth. The groundedness from this exercise allows you to take another breath and come back up in your heart chakra. Take another breath. Check in with it. What have you carried into this moment, this time, from the week, from your life? Ask it to move aside. Take another breath. If it's work on your mind, move it aside. Take another breath. Even in the exhale, there is the sound of is God, Yahweh. And invite the lightness and the playfulness of your child heart to come into your being right now. Remember what it feels to be so excited about something. And take a breath. See what that does to how your brain is interacting right now with that memory that you have. And know that we are here to live and to choose that moment of healthy body, healthy mind, joyful spirit every single day. So as you take another breath, I have a song for you. So breathe and invite that energy in. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well. And while you're sitting in that quiet place, think about what if life was like that, where we interacted with everyone, beholding the God in them, their eternal life force, before we brought in the busyness of the day to interact. Impossible? No. Tough in this digital age? Yeah. It takes an act of consciousness to choose to live that way. So, take a deep breath and remind yourself of that beautiful, playful spirit within your heart. Breathe in. And again, shake it off. And on this next breath, come back into the room. Feel the chair underneath you. Next breath. If you're comfortable, you can start to wiggle your body and open your eyes. And come back to center into the healing space that we have here. There is a quiet place far from the rapid pace where God can soothe my troubled mind, sheltered by tree and flower, there in my quiet hour, with Him my cares are left behind. Whether a garden small or on a mountain tall, new strength and courage there I will find. Then from that quiet place I go, prepared to face a new day with love for all mankind. Then from my quiet place I go, prepared to face a new day with love for all mankind, for all mankind. Woo! Yeah, Jimmy. Wow. Well, thank you. I usually don't sing quite that much in the beginning of the service, but it's fun for me to do that. Jimmy and I have been friends since the mid-'80s, when he moved up here from Arizona to be in a band that I had. Was it mid-'80s, right? And later on became the musical director of Key to Life Church for 20 years?
About 12.
Oh, about 12. It felt like 20. No. And I think I might have taken over right after that or something. So our spiritual musical history is so much fun that we tapped into so many songs we could have done today. That is really fun. So thank you for letting us bring music into this service. I know Gary likes it when I bring the music into the service. So great. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I want to definitely go into everything that I was talking about a little bit earlier and all the studying and the different things that I was finding with some of the spiritual book authors. And what's crazy about this is that, Jimmy thought it would be funny if I had my phone up here and went, wait, I got a call coming in. But truthfully, I should take a selfie at least, What the heck? I've become the selfie queen, right? So I know how to take the selfie. Here's your little lesson. You take the phone. And so I have a long arm, and then you just know, you train your friends and your family, you train them to back up behind you. If you're right-handed, you're on the right. If you're left-handed, you're on the left. And then you tilt it, and I've gotten 21 people in a selfie. Yes. Living in the digital age, I'm having a blast. And you know why I do that? Because 12 years ago, I almost lost my life to a major heart event. And so when I think of the ability in this age of technology to watch my computer screen with all these digital pictures of my loved ones, fun times, grandchildren, friends, different concerts that I've been to, that makes me so happy. And I always have like 3 of the same pose, so someday I'll go through the 35,000 selfies I have. Seriously, living in the digital age is fun. You can make it fun. It can be crazy. How many people don't use the internet for their business? You don't use it in your business at all. Three out of however many are in here. That's rather amazing. You don't have a business. Okay, well that's okay. So how many don't use the internet? Okay, I know one person at a church, she's a musical director there, who does not have a computer or a cell phone. Only person I know. Seriously, yeah, it's really interesting trying to send her a file for the song I want to sing for the service. I have to burn a CD, I have to print out the sheet music and the lyric and make sure she gets it in enough time. That sort of makes me have to go, oh. It's all about me. It's not about her. She's fine living in that space. And me, I'm like, well, it's not fast enough for me. That's the problem. I cannot believe that my little typing classes in high school that I never used, that I stunk at when I would try a typewriter. I'm like the worst speller on a typewriter. Come on. And who wants to put that carbon in there or a whiteout and fix it and make it, no, right, so. I have finally found the machinery that keeps up with how fast my brain goes. Isn't that fantastic? My business is centered around it. My social life is centered around it. My business is within my social life so that I can, let people know where I'm singing or speaking, for example, like this morning. And then I write letters there. Sometimes I print them. Sometimes they go via an email. Charts are sent back and forth, printed out, created in a Dropbox area where people can come and get the files to learn for the rehearsal, which I invite them to either by text or email. That's a lot. That's a lot. As a matter of fact, I have a little too abundant digital life going on in my world. I have to say that it can consume me because at the end of the day, I'm not reading a book anymore. My eyes are used to reading a screen, and I used to be such a big reader of novels. I tried to get 2 books on a vacation, get through them. And it's interesting what it has done to me, to my body, I don't know, to my psyche, I don't know. But the sitting too much. Sitting started when I started radio, because as a singer, you stand. 20 years ago, what's happened as a result of sitting so much, and that now I have groomed myself into sitting so much so that I can get the computer jobs done, the editing, taught myself how to edit music, all of that stuff. So it physically changes us. It mentally changes us. It keeps us in that fast-paced lifestyle that for me, I have to go up north and where my stuff doesn't work very well, or it isn't the reason I'm there, to step outside and really drink in God. Does anybody else feel like that? Yeah? Yeah, oh, totally. Well, I don't really have to just go up north. I mean, I love to stop and smell the roses, but I like to smell them even longer nowadays. If I'm getting that mindset and I'm changing myself from within to not just have this diet of the digital world and to really come and commune with Mother Nature, much like the meditation, curling my energy through the bottom of my feet to Mother Nature, to the core of the earth. That all takes what it used to be a practice that I would do every day. I have to remember in the quiet parts of the morning, maybe as I'm stretching, to take breaths and choose that joyous spirit and to ground myself. And I have to think about it. It isn't second nature anymore because I've allowed this, oh my gosh, here's my cell phone by my bed. Shall I turn it on now? What email came in? What does somebody need from me? So if you're a person who gives a lot of yourself, wow, that's like the immediate thing. To have those messages come across that fast, I'm thinking about what part of my day I can fit that person in so I can go physically be with them, which as I get older isn't very easy to do besides traffic, and I don't move like I used to, you know. So I think that there are some really healthy practices about the digital world when it comes to separating yourself from it. And I have heard that it's a good idea to take your Wi-Fi off your phone, even if you have it next to your bedside. Turn it off completely because of the waves that are going on electronically, always looking for something to connect with a satellite. Some of those things I have to remind myself to do. Maybe you do too. But thinking about what the digital world does for us positively, there was a great interview that was done with Deepak that I want to get to just a couple of the pieces. And it was finding balance in the digital age. And it was online, and you can search it as well. But some of the key points were, it's this advent of artificial intelligence, which, if you've done any kind of watching of even some of the news programs, artificial intelligence is scanning our faces. There was a piece on 60 Minutes about how they scan, somewhere in Asia, faces of kids in a classroom. It's a virtual teacher, but the AI in the computer and the screen or the camera up in the top of the ceiling can see who's bored, who's having trouble, who's struggling, and how they can suss that out through artificial intelligence. It's really trippy. And there was an artist who was just performing. One of my kids sent it to me. And he was performing an acoustic set in a place where artificial intelligence was. Oh, there was a robotic kitty so that a little kid could feel like it could interact with an animal. Now that's stretching it a little bit for me. So I'll be maybe one of those older people who go, yeah, right, not for me, but it'll happen anyway, you know. So anyway, you can't stop technology was the point of it. You will become irrelevant if you don't stay with the times. Basically, he said, it's a Darwinian principle. Embrace it to the fullest or become irrelevant. Technology itself is neutral, okay? And he said there's a distinction between data, knowledge, information, and wisdom. So far, the technology piece has been about the data and the technology and the slowing and information or knowledge. And if you think about also this digital age, it can be used for destruction or by conscious choice, which we were talking about. It can be used for the betterment of people. So, wisdom is the quality that improves life, and the quality of life, or the planets, or the ecosystem. So to use this digital world for positivity, we as the human choosing to live in the digital world can go from that place as opposed to just being all over the place and getting involved in politics or whatever through the digital media system. It's called the emerging global brain, as a matter of fact. So we have to decide how we want that emerging global brain to work. So it's for those of us who are alert, who can use it for the highest good. He has talks that are now on Alexa. You can get up every morning and ask for the Deepak Chopra talks that he has. Has anybody ever done that? Alexa, play me Deepak's daily meditation. Okay, that's available. Now, I would not have thought of that. I gave my Alexa to my grandsons. So I'm like, yeah, I'll never use this. Well, I might have. I don't know. I was really interested to find that out. And his whole status is about going within and about consciousness and how we bring the changing times into the world as a conscious individual, not unconscious individual. So that was pretty cool. And And on this, it becomes a whole platform that he talks about that's called jayo.com, I believe jayo.com. And there's different parts about this app you can get, or go to jayo.com. Sleep, stress management, relationships, yoga, exercise, movement. All of these things are available via the digital world, and they're positive things, even nutrition. You can also post your reflections on their website, and they don't call them a selfie. I think he was calling them a wealthy. Not as in money. I got the impression after I heard him say it, like the well-being, wealthy. So I can't wait to figure that out and go check it out and see what is that about. There's Gaia Television, internet television. Anybody watching that? Wow, I'll tell you what, if I can't sleep, I pop a show on and I am out because it's my mindset. It isn't the black and white. It's not the flashing. My husband loves the television on, which gets turned off. But there's so many great things that are out there and available to you. His new book, by the way, You Are the Universe, haven't read it yet, but it does deal with what's the universe made of, all of his really simple topics. Why are we born? Why do we die? Who are we? You know, that kind of a thing. So he and a physicist from MIT wrote it. One of the most incredible experiences or experiments that I learned while I was doing this was that there was a mass participation across the globe from a guy by the last name of Siemens, and I think he's the Siemens in the electronics as well. But they talked about what it takes to create mental clarity. And can you do an online academy for the goodness of all people? So they set up a yoga class, which they invited many people from across the globe to be a part of. Only 30% of Americans are a part of this. But it's, you know, this sense of detaching from ourselves, things that matter. That's what happens when we stay too intrinsic into the digital age. And so he said for our emotional health, we have to start detaching. So some of the exercises that we can do is if you're running down a flight of stairs, instead of running, think about each step you're going on. If you're standing at the elevator, take a breath. Look around. Become conscious in the moment. Okay, I don't know about how many of you have these Apple Watches. Just me, oh my goodness. Do you want to know why I wanted it? Is because I wanted it to tell me to get up because I'd been sitting too long. You know, I lose track of time. If you're editing a piece of music and you're on your computer and you want it to be done by a certain time, I sit too long. So it told me to stand up, but not only that, it tells me to take a minute to breathe. Wow, that's huge. What, I'm not breathing? What? It's not like it knows, it's just a reminder. I mean, it has my heartbeat on there. I can check if I feel a little flutter. Shallow breathing isn't good for a heart patient, that's all I'm going to tell you. It's not good for any of us. So one of the cool things that I found was when Deepak was doing a television show, they videoed, actually it might have been something that they had done like a symposium, but Eckhart Tolle was with him at the time. And the two of them got together and talked about what it was like in this digital age. How do you live in it? How do you still co-create with one another? And that's why I really thought the God in me beholds a God in you, namaste, a really great way to reframe your mind and your thought process as you're moving through the world. Like, I think I get a little disappointed at myself because my body doesn't move as fast as my thoughts and my words do anymore. And that really reminded me that it's okay. Take that breath. I do count the steps because I hang on when I go down, step at a time, definitely. But they had a really cool thing, I'll close with it in just a minute, for us to think about. And it just is something that we can think of in the moment when we're standing at that elevator. Let me get to that in just a moment. What I always find so helpful, and Tina, you have the wireless somewhere? Is when I hear from you practices that you do to detach from the digital world, to recenter yourself. Would anybody like to say a couple of words about what some of your practices are today? I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, great. Perfect.
Yoga, Pilates, and then I do transcendental meditation,
Okay.
which is really, really helpful.
How
And
is that helpful? Or is all of those things helpful?
they all are. But when I do yoga, it's like I step outside of myself, and it's really peaceful. It's also really good for stress relief because depending on the type that you're doing, well, you're expending effort and, for me, an emotion too. I love Pilates too because once again, you're focusing on the breath. I learned transcendental meditation though probably 25 years ago, and I really appreciate other forms of meditation too, but I always come back to TM. So, good.
That's beautiful.
Well, we can talk about the breath.
Yeah. That's the through line with all the things you just talked about, was breathing. And as a singer, I have to breathe. I feel so much better when I have just sung a song, and if I'm in good voice, I actually try one like Quiet Place, which Take Six did many, many years ago, and I actually dared do that tune. Anybody else have another trick? I mean, I know people sometimes write notes. It's great to have some advice from you who are actively involved with practices that make you reconnect to yourself and one another that doesn't have anything to do with the digital age. Any? Yeah.
Well, I have to go back to nature.
Yeah.
You know, I have to get out in the woods, get out where it's quiet. I don't have the distraction of the digital age as an example, and get renewed that way. And it really benefits me a lot.
Yeah. I mean, our weather has been amazing. Have you been enjoying it? Huh. Talk about looking for God. That's easy. Trying to find. There was an article that talked about how you can find God in the computer world too because of the brilliance of the people who created the computer, brilliance of the programs that are created through that computer. God can be found there, but it's just not quite as easy. Anybody else have another practice? I know that my friend Kat will put a cloth over her computer, so there's nothing emanating from it. She speaks here, as you know.
I also like going outside, especially if I want to draw or read. Then I just go outside into nature and leave my phone at home because then I can't get distracted and I can focus on that stuff.
Did you say you leave your phone at home?
Yeah.
God bless you, girl. Wow. Wow. How hard is that for you to do?
It's not hard because it's actually kind of relieving
Yeah.
to just like disconnect for like 2
Okay.
hours or 3 hours.
Okay. Well, good. That's really wonderful. How hard is it for you to leave your phones? What about a meal? Is it hard for you? No.
Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. My sister-in-law makes people leave their cell phone in the center of the table if you go out for any meal with them at their house or in a restaurant, you know, in the center of the table. I think that's pretty cute. Anybody else have a practice that you do within your family or your friends? Yeah.
I'm not sure this is the right category, but I have, since I've been active here for the past year, I have really found that inviting the feelings, no matter what they are, the sadness, and staying with that is centering myself in me.
Oh,
and that's
yes.
really helpful.
Well, good. Yes. Well, see, and so you're taking time away from the digital world to center yourself and all that makes up you. I think that's great.
Unless I'm using the digital world.
Yeah, right. Well, there's great classes out there for all that stuff, too. You, Ella?
So I make sure I turn off all of my notifications. It just amazes me that people are like the Pavlov dog. They hear
Yes.
they hear the ding and they've got to check to see what's going on. But I try to detach when I'm not at work, when I'm at home and I just want to chill, turn off all the notifications.
Yeah. You know, something about this watch, again, is that your text messages come through, notifications, and sometimes I need them because I won't have my phone available to me. I think I need them, put it that way. But here's what it does to a person who isn't used to it. You're going like this all the time, like you're too busy for them. And it's like, no, just a message coming through. I just had to see if it was the one I was expecting. Really, seriously. I'm walking down here because I have a purpose. Let's see. This will happen today. Okay, any other practices? I think somebody else held their hand up. I'm not sure. Tina, what do you do?
Ooh, well, like this morning we did some Qigong, but I like connecting with nature and walking. So I walk around Lake of the Isles, I think, every single day. It's the combination of water, the physical activity, and breathing fresh air all at the same time.
That's so great. You know, if I had thought of this earlier, I would have brought in classical music for you to walk into. This morning on CBS Sunday Morning was John Williams, the orchestrator, the creator, the person who did the score for all the Star Wars and Schindler's List and Harry Potter. Big, huge piece on him and how he actually talks about being so immersed in the music makes him really not available to his family or whatever because it takes so much time, as we all know. But I know for me, as I heard him talk, what a piece of music does to me that I'm not singing. If it's the way Kurt Elling is singing a jazz ballad, or Ella scatting her brains out, or Shaka Khan doing a lick that I'm going to try to get, you know, this takes me outside of myself. If I listen to the beautiful meditation music we have here, what Jimmy was playing, I can find that place inside of me and go, now, why don't I do this more often? When I walk around a lake, I say that to myself often. Why don't I do this more often? So, a couple of things I want to say is there was a trailblazer in town here who really put his mind, his body, and his spirit into the advancement of spirituality through the Edge magazine, then the Edge Life Expos. His name is Gary Beckman. Anybody know Gary Beckman? All right, well, his memorial service is today. And it's up near his home, I believe, in Ramsey. And something that was talked about in an article from him was, we remind everyone, Gary wrote in 2008, creating disorder and chaos is an option. It's one option. Another is the choice to go within and know that when you make a decision, it's from your inner knowing. From the truth of your soul, it's the matter of listening to your inner guidance. The days of skepticism are over. There's no left or right, no right or wrong. It's a matter of listening to your inner self or soul. We're very grateful for the peace we have here at home, which is always within us if we choose to go there. Thank you, Gary. And to close, I've got a couple. I'm going to go over just a hair, I think, today. What Eckhart Tolle and Deepak was talking about was the word stop. Stop meaning S. Stop. Take 3 breaths. No, maybe, okay, that was one. Now I'm already anxious to get to the next one. The O is for observe your body. So stop, simply stop. T, take 3 breaths. O, observe your body. And then P is proceed with love and kindness. I love that. Okay, Jimmy, let's do one. But here we go. Oh, if we can learn what it means to really love ourselves, then we can learn to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And we can live in harmony, see ourselves as a family. This is our prayer for humanity. That we respect our women and protect our girls, that they feel safe in every corner of the world, that we can live in harmony, see ourselves as a family. This is my prayer for humanity. That every man would be a father to someone by loving every boy as if it was his only son, that we can live in harmony, see ourselves as a family. This is a prayer. This is my prayer for humanity. Oh, and that we know nobody really wins the war, and every leader knows what power is truly for, that we can live in harmony, see ourselves as a family. This is our prayer. This is our prayer for humanity. And every man, woman, boy, and girl will hear these words all across the world. And every man, woman, boy, and girl will hear these words all across the world. And every man, woman, boy, and girl will hear these words all across the world. This is my prayer for humanity. All right, come up. Very good. Okay. Yep, started. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. Take a little time out of your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost the way. Or would I be talking to a stone if I asked you to share a problem that was not your own? Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's hand? Make this world a better place if you can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. Do that part again. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Just them, Jimmy. Reach out and touch somebody's. Playful. Make this world a better place. One more time. Go. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.